Hey everyone, I'm Almar of almarsguides.com, and this video here is going to go over headshotting on a ranger. So it's been really long since I've played my ranger, probably about 5-6 months. However, I wanted to make a video here about headshotting on the ranger, just because it's one of the most popular things I'm asked on how to do and stuff like that. So to get started, what headshotting is pretty much is killing a bunch of mobs really fast with your bow. It's pretty straightforward, considering that. It's really easy to do once you get the hang of things, and there's really not much to it except for just rooting mobs, keeping a distance, keeping them away from you, and pew-pewing them down. Now, there's many different uses for headshot, I guess you could say. For one of the more popular uses for headshot is obviously getting yourself experience. The second most popular use for headshot is power leveling other players. And power leveling other players can lead to making you a lot of money. Because at least on Feronia V, they charge 100k an hour out here in Firot for headshot power levels. And you can, bump that down in price a little bit depending on what other zones you want to do. Like, say you want to do Field of Scale, you can go there and headshot too. Or, say you wanted to do Tosk, you could go there, headshot, and sell power levels and stuff there too. So that's definitely something you want to keep in mind. Also, headshot has changed a lot depending on when the last time you played is or when the last time you headshot is. Now you can only headshot the mob you're targeting, therefore hail of arrows won't affect all the mobs in, a line or something like that. So whatever your target is, that's the only mob you will be able to headshot. Now, due to the fact that I'm pretty much doing this live right now, let's pretty much jump in and I'll explain what happens with things. So you want to turn on auto fire here and let it start plinking away at the mobs. When the mob gets pretty close to you, you want to do, what is this spell called? Vine Lash Cascade? Cool, it's still called that. You want to Vine Lash the mobs, pretty much root them. You can root a whole bunch of them with Vine Lash. And then you want to back up, make sure you have some range so when it breaks, it'll take the mob a while to get to you. And then you'll just want to keep on firing at them. So I'm going to pull this mob here. I'm going to shoot. Now, say Vine Lash gets resisted and it turns into an oh shit moment and I need to get the mob away from me really fast. Flusterbolt does a really good job of this. You can Flusterbolt the mob and then it'll shoot them away. Shoot them way further back, and then you can pick them off pretty easily from a distance. And then you have, let's see, I'll show you a few more of the abilities while we're killing everything here. Now, I'm going to Vine Lash this mob, and you can use a few different abilities to shoot more arrows. One is Barrage of Arrows. Although Barrage of Arrows really sucks up your mana, a lot of rangers prefer using a very low level form of that and a lower rank, so it uses less mana. And thus, more arrows, less mana. It doesn't really matter how powerful the arrows are singly, because headshot, the fatal bow shot, aka headshot, is where all of your damage is coming from anyway. So that's a few mobs there killed. As you can see, I'm getting like 1 AA per mob, so that's definitely great experience for being out here. Now, let's see, I'll pick off this mob again, and I'll show you a few more of my abilities. So I'm going to Vine Lash the mob here, and now I'm going to do Focus Storm of Arrows, bam, which is a few different arrows that all attack, the single target right there, which is actually what you want to use instead of Barrage of Arrows. Like I said, it's been a while since I've played, but Focus Storm of Arrows pretty much focus everything on one target instead of having to, worry about lining them all up and stuff like that. Now, you only want to use Barrage of Arrows if, say there's one mob that you just headshot like 2-3 times in a row and he's really low health and you don't really, want to keep plucking away at him because, what's the point, really? Like, if he's really low health, ooh, aggroed a mob by accident. If he's really low health, there's really no point in, shooting him and continuing to waste your arrows and stuff like that on him. What you can do instead is, switch targets, switch to another mob, and actually I can just Flusterbolt that wolf away. What you want to do instead is switch to another mob, and then, start hail of arrow or barrage of arrows while they're all in a line, and then, that'll really help you in a way because, you'll be able to kill the other mob with normal damage while you're also headshotting the other mob that you're, the secondary mob. So that's a nice little tidbit of info for you there. And also, you have to line mobs up on even terrain in order to successfully barrage of arrows them, due to the fact that, they shoot in a pretty straight line over the landscape. Also, you have the focused arrows. You won't have to line the mobs up because it doesn't work like that. It will shoot, it pretty much just hones in on a mob, and you don't have to worry about lining them up. Also, you can use terrain to your advantage, as you can see here. I'm using the terrain to my advantage, so the mob actually has to like circle around the long way, and I actually killed him before he was even able to get up here because I used the terrain to my advantage like that. So I'm going to show you another ability here, which is announce shots, which will also strike the target with arrows and also is good to use, and it also will make the target take more damage, which also reflects the damage they take from headshot. So it's good to use on mobs. As you can see, I hit him for 187k, which is definitely great to do, and it shoots more arrows at the mob, so you really can't go wrong with it anyway. Let me see if I can get this mob out from behind the tree without actually, putting myself in a vulnerable position. Now, what you want to look out for and what you have to look out for with headshot, ouchies, is mobs that summon. Of course, it's the same for kiters, really. You need to watch out for the mobs that summon, because if you get a mob that summons, that could put an end to your day rather quickly. I aggroed another wolf. So let's circle around here. I'll show you how things go with... I headshot that mob down. Now I need to kite around until Flusterbolt comes back up, which should be momentarily, and then I can break aggro from the wolf. I'll run over here and innate camo, and once the woofy goes away, I'll be able to heal myself up a bit, and then we can continue. There we go. The woofy went away, and now I can toss some heals on myself, that way I don't die. Now, I know a lot of rangers don't usually heal themselves, but it's very important to do this, because if you're dying, you're not getting any XP. You're actually losing XP. So it doesn't hurt to, just stop briefly and toss some heals on yourself. And also you can do like Guardian of the Forest, which will also help for healing you, because, it'll tick for a couple, depending on what your AA is in the Guardian of the Forest, it'll tick for a certain amount and heal you that way. So that's a definite plus. Now, one of the biggest things that is a little bit a pain in the ass right here is the landscape. Due to the fact that it's all, up, down, and it's all crooked and stuff like that, it makes it much harder to headshot, but I'm kind of managing. Now I'm going to shoot this mob. I'm probably going to aggro a few in the camp. Yep, I aggroed another one in the camp. I'll Vine Lash, back up. Now I'll do Focus Storm of Arrows on him. I didn't proc headshot, announce shots. Usually you should do announce shots before the focused, because it'll do more damage with headshot and thus have a higher chance of killing them. Now, let's see. Focused is... Ooh, got him beforehand. Now, also what I like to do is instead of pulling with a normal shot, just pull with something like Focused, because if you pull with something like that, there's a chance you might not even have to Vine Lash the mob, and there's a chance he'll just die where he's standing. Because of, with multiple arrows hitting him, there's a chance you might just obliterate him right where he stands, and you won't have to worry about any of that at all. So another Lizardman Thug here. I'm doing Focus. There you go. Killed him. So what you do for headshot is really, really simple, as you can see in this video. It's one of the most straightforward things, and it's really easy once you get a hang of things. I'll give you a rundown at the next lizard camp, or maybe the next lizard, depending on where he is. Oh boy, jungle crawlers. So let's head over to this Lizardman camp all the way across the zone. Well, not across the zone, but a decent run. So pretty much what you do with headshot is shoot the arrow at the mob. That part's pretty obvious. Once it hits the mob, what's this guy doing? I guess he's what are you calling it? Swarming on his SK, which I can also make a video for sooner or later as well. So what you want to do is shoot the arrow so it hits the mob, and then the mob will start running at you. And then you want to root them with Vine Lash Cascade, and pretty much that'll stop him from running at you. And then you'll be able to pluck at him, aka shoot arrows at him, until headshot procs again. Maybe it might have to proc a few times depending on what your headshot is and how much damage it's doing to the mobs. And once you kill them, that's pretty much it. You get XP. Now, there's a few different ways to do this. Like, you can pull with snare, like say you're in a really tight quarters and stuff. As you can see, I just pulled with snare there, which gives me plenty more time to, figure things out. I can be like, oh no, the mob is running at me, and really take my time when it comes to killing them. So that might be something you might be interested in, pulling with snare, taking your time with the mob, letting them run at you, and stuff like that. Or, you can just really just kamikaze bomb into it like this. Focus storm of arrows, really try to kill them before they get to you, like that. And he didn't even hit me, and I killed him right before he got to me. That was actually a perfect example right when I needed it. So, and then, you can take that, like I said, the easy approach. Don't really risk that much, and let the mobs run at you, and or don't really risk that much and snare the mobs before anything happens. That way, the mob will run at you really slow, and you have plenty of time to get ready to, kill them and stuff like that. Or you can pull within trap or pull with just a normal snare. That way, you're pretty much like on the ball, and you're ready for the mob to run at you really, really, really slow. That way, you won't die pretty much no matter what. Depending on how you want to play, risk versus reward. Obviously, taking the bigger risk and trying to blow the mob up before he gets to you will probably work out much better. But it's completely up to you. And you also have Flusterbolt, which I know it turns the mobs away from you and makes them leave and run away. But it's definitely a great ability to have when it comes time for headshotting. If you need a route on the go and really fast. Like, it doesn't really matter. You can just Flusterbolt like that and shot the mob back. And even when they turn around and they, drop aggro from you, you can still keep shooting them and you'll still get XP when you kill them. So it doesn't really matter all that much if, you use Flusterbolt. It's definitely something you want to have on your bars, and it's actually something I definitely recommend. Now, aside from your headshot AAs, you also want combat agility and combat stability, which will decrease the amount of damage taken. Definitely needed when it comes time for headshot, because you are pretty squishy, and you'll be headshotting mobs that will hurt you. Plus, there's a chance always that you can run into named mobs, which that'll put a damper on your day really, really fast. You want to be able to handle everything when it comes time to headshotting. Also, you want to put AAs into bow mastery, which that's another extremely important one, because with bow mastery, it's hold on, I'm like trying to read my AAs while kiting mobs around and trying not to die at the same time. Okay, it says this adds 20 points of damage to any successful attack you perform with a bow. This, will just buff up your damage a little bit. Not that important. I think I might have said it was important. I was thinking of another one. I'm actually going to find that other one right now. There's another AA which, well, this one's worthwhile. Ranged Finesse increases damage done when you score a critical hit. Trick Shot, I'm pretty sure. There you go. What it does is it increases the chance of you shooting another arrow when you shoot an arrow. And that's very, very important, because a double chance of shooting another arrow equals another chance for headshot to proc. So, keeping that in mind, those are pretty much the basics for headshotting. I'm sure I can make another video showing, large packs of mobs and pulling all large packs of mobs and stuff like that, but it's really not needed at this time. After a certain level, like after Plains of Fire, you're not really going to be pulling large trains of mobs anymore. And even then, you're still not going to be pulling large trains of mobs there anymore due to the fact that you can't AoE headshot. You'll just want to take it slow, pull one at a time and stuff like that, and you'll be A-okay when it comes time to, actually headshot and stuff like that. So, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully you learned something as a ranger. If you did, like, comment, and subscribe to me for future gaming and Everquest videos. And if you have any questions, by all means, feel free to ask. I'll be more than happy to answer you. Also, as you can see here, the alacrity potions, definitely buy some of them. Haste means more arrow shot, means more chance of proccing headshot. So that's pretty much all. I'll catch you guys around. As always, good luck and happy hunting.